Gentlemen, this is the first one in interview in a series of interviews about the entrepreneurship, and our guest is Dino, Luzzi, who is the basically the person on the you can taste his taste in the drink, Dino Luzzi, so you can taste how he tastes as a businessman, and we'll find out how to become entrepreneur and have your own business in such a competitive market. So we're talking about to the people who are entrepreneurs, who wants to start their business. They already have a business. Maybe they have a grocery. Maybe they want to sell the beverage, or they want to sell like a snack bar, some kind of ownership of a business, right? Is there any advice? Is there any secret to be a business owner like you?
I believe the first thing you have to find is your passion. No matter which product you want to sell, no matter which type of business you want to open up, you have to be passionate about. You have to believe, strongly believe in what you're doing, because you'll be sending out vibes and people will feel those vibes. So if you don't believe in your own product, it'd be very tough to sell. I always suggest to do due diligence, do some marketing research before you launch your own business. Look who is your competitor, find out how strong is the competition, find out how weak is the competition.
Do you think it's important to have partners, or you should do everything on your own? Like, how do you find the people you trust? Like, how is the team matters, or the person matters? What's in the human factor?
I love these tough questions that Alexander keeps throwing at me. When I was a kid, 13 years old, I opened up my own first business. And my grandfather said, partnerships are good in uneven numbers. After 3 is too many. I never forget that.
Partners with brothers and sisters, or it's like
I believe you have to rely on yourself. Find the right people only comes with experience. Find the correct relationship takes time. It's like a marriage. So if you don't want to get divorced, I would suggest start your own business, rely on yourself. And when you need help, if you do need help, then you can bring a partner in. But you bring in a partner in that it brings value, not gonna take away from what you build. And I believe controlling 51% of the partner is key. But then if you really feel comfortable, you can go 50-50. Would I recommend it? I would say start your own business, rely on your shoulders. You are the business. Nobody else is. I'm working 24/7. Alexander is working 24/7. He's killing me with all this stuff he's sending me. But that's okay. I respect, I see the efforts. I don't believe there's any other way. At the beginning, you have to work very hard. Once you have the structure, once you have the foundation, then you have to work smart. Working smart, yes, that's when you bring partners. That's when you bring new people in. And while you are in the process, you have to bring in the team that you can work with. Many people are going to tell you, do this, do that. All you got to do is listen, put it in your back pocket, and go with your own beliefs.
As a business owner, like you mentioned that working 24/7 is important. But as a business person, don't you want to work less? You want to enjoy your life? So I think if people want to work, they go 9-to-5 jobs. If you want to own your own business, you want to have fun and enjoy life with your family, with your friends. Is that why we are?
That's a theory. That's a theory.
In reality,
in reality, when you have your own business, you live longer because you cannot die. People will not let you die. Everybody's going to pray for you. Make sure you live longer so they can get their paycheck. Everybody's going to wish you well. If you build a good relationship and a good business.
What do you think of Trump as a business person? He had a couple of bankruptcies. He had a presidency. He had a very, very
Trump
tough.
is like my energy drink. It's a pop. It never stops.
Stuff.
It never stops.
Keep pushing. So that's an example of a business person.
I have a lot of respect for him. I think as a businessman, there is something more important actually. I'm very impressed by the fact that he was divorced and he kept his children. They're all with him. All his children support him. That tells me a lot, not just about a business person, but as the person. So that's what I respect the most. When you're in business, you have to make the decisions that not everybody's gonna like. So you might look like a bad guy. You really cannot be. You have to be a straight shooter, and you have to be able to cut your losses, as well as to make a buck with a new entrepreneurial adventure. And that's
How do you deal with the guilt part? Let's say when I spend time with away from my family and I go to business meetings and events and things of that nature, I feel guilty that I don't spend that time with my children, with my wife, with my family. How do you bring your family into your business? How do you find what's the like a fine line between like giving time to the business, your thoughts, you sit at the dinner table, but your brain is still thinking about the business. When do you turn this off and you go on vacation with your wife and give her attention?
so, Alex. I'm a little older than you. I'm going to tell you my experience. When I launched my pharmaceutical marketing company, I traveled all over the world, doing shows and promoting drugs for the pharmaceutical company to the physicians. I did not see my youngest one grow up. Still today, I miss that. What have I learned from that? I have breakfast with them every morning. I get up at 6:30 before they go to school. I spend that precious time with them. I have dinner with them every night. And those are my two precious times. People come to me and invite me to so many events. Everybody wants me to go to the events. I don't want to do that no more. I want to stay home at night with my family. That's my time. So let's say I spend an hour and a half in the morning with them, 2 hours with them at night, and then I sleep home. I don't need to sleep. I can work while I'm sleeping. Instead of sleeping, I get in my office and start working. So I spend probably 4 or 5 hours with my kids, my wife, and 19 hours working every day. The problem arises the weekends because you cannot take a break. So I still do the same thing. And I don't feel guilty because I get my hug, my love every single day. And I see them growing up.
Some folks say that life is precious and every meal can be the last one, every drink can be the last one, you smell the flower. But I don't think it's true. Like people think that, life can, fly away at any moment. I think we are blessed as humans. We live to 100 years. Most of the animals don't. Very few animals in the in the kingdom of animals, or trees for that matter, live that long. So we have lots of meals. We have that many moments when we can have sex with our partners. We can enjoy a lot of things. Like, how do you balance the feeling that this is the fatal, last chance to pitch to that client, to pitch to that business, and understanding that it's continuation. You have next week, next year, next decade. So you still have time. You say you're 66, but you have probably another 40 years in you. So you can kind of pace yourself. Yes, we don't know when will be the last breath, but you still have a lot of things to look forward. So you don't have to live like today is the last day. You still can plan what you're gonna do next 20 to 30 years.
The way I see my life now, and I ask myself, does it make sense working so hard? I'll give you an example. You move to other countries, you can live very well with $2,000 a month. Some countries, you can live very well with $1,000 a month. But you really want your best for your kids. So working hard, number one, is for people that are born with a specific drive. Not everybody's like that. The drive is born with you and is usually given to you by your parents, by your grandparents, by someone in the family. At the end of the day, what's most important is what's your goal? The most important things in life should be God, regardless of the type of religion that people believe. One way or another, we all believe in one God. So your conscience, your karma has to be clean. You have to feel comfortable within yourself that what you're doing regarding to the eternity, the eternal life, or regarding your respect for God is there. But truthfully, you have to do what you're doing for your family, because you want to leave a legacy behind. And then you give them the opportunity to take it or not. And that's why I respect Trump. Forget it, to me, he did the 4 bankruptcy, he talks a lot, whatever. To me, it doesn't matter. His kids love him. How did he achieve that? And that's what I want to achieve. I want to make my kids proud.
So that brings me to my last question in this segment. We know that you strike for time, so thank you for your time. But religion and entrepreneurship. A lot of people have very strong feelings about God, and a lot of people want to be successful as a business person. How do you see correlation between those two things? A lot of preachers became really, really good business people. A lot of business people have very strong feelings about God and what's moral and what's ethical, and God keeps them on their toes, to honor those relationships, those promises that they make.
I don't believe you can't be successful if you're not close to God, because God gives you the miracles. Most people say, I never had a miracle. Just think how many times you ask God for help, and you only ask God for help when you need help. And then the help came, and then you forgot that you asked for it. That's a miracle. People don't focus on that. But I remember when I had my first kid, one of them was born with an umbilical cord around his neck. First thing I did, I was ask God for help. And then I forgot. The moment he cried, I forgot that I was talking to God. Now it's fine. We don't need him anymore. And the same thing is in business. You run out of money. You make money. There are hurdles every day. Every day there is a problem. And what do? You try to find the solution. And when you cannot find the solution, you say, God, what should I do? And then you wake up the next day, you figure out the way, but you forgot you asked God the day before.
A lot of people kind of thought that Jews are kind of stupid. They one day a week, every 7 days, they go pray and they don't work. But they are really good business people in some ways, right?
Well, they're survivors. They're survivors. So they had to become good. I would say more than good, they're determined. Many races has been persecuted and it's been forgotten. Like the Christians were persecuted, the Armenians. Who remembers that the Armenians were persecuted? I think. Okay, yeah, but
big deal.
Okay, but not for Europeans. If you will tell that to a lot of people in Europe, they never even heard of it. I heard it when I came to this country. So the reason why I learned over here is because in this country, we are from all over. I don't know who the Americans are. I tell my kids, you're Americans. You were born here, you're Americans. Now, of course, you have to remember where your father, your mother were born, and your grandparents, but you're American. And my respect goes to all the nationality that were able to survive, that they became determined in business. Now, for some reason, we associated good food with Italians, good business with Jewish, but at the end of the day, we all human. It's determination. And without God, we go nowhere. I guarantee you that.
Let me ask you last question, and that will be it for today.
You said that before.
That's the short. Oh, okay. If you want, we can.
No, go.
I'll give you one more because this is, I think, is kind of leading to the closing of that segment. You have Italian heritage. What is has to do with Italian business people and the business? I can see Ferrari. There are let's say Benelli. It's the oldest company in the world. It's over 6,000 years old. There is no other company that survived that many generations. Beretta is the oldest company in the world, right?
The gun.
So, what's the distinction in terms of entrepreneurship in the culture of folks who have Italian heritage like you? And we'll close with that. That's
Okay, I truly believe that one is in the quality of the product, but is also on the strength of the family. So the person that originated the business had to be a very strong personality to be able to transmit it and give it to his kids, to their heritage. And basically have taught their kids to do the same. That's what I would like to do, not necessarily just with the energy drink, but I would like for my kids to understand that if you're determined, there is nothing that you cannot do in this country. Probably in other countries too. But this country does give you the opportunity.
What about Italian mentality? Anything specific to
Family. The strength of the family. And Jewish people have that too. I don't know about many nationalities, but the Greeks do. I'm sure. Look, I think families are very, very strong. I actually see that now today with the Orientals as well. I see that. But I see that with the Indians, I see that with the Pakistanians. It goes back to the heritage, the way you grew up. And the people that suffer the most, they want to live the best because they know how hard it was to achieve it.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen,
we're done.
We'll leave you with that. If you have more questions, I think that Dino gave us some insight to his mind. Thank you so much. If you have more questions or comments, maybe you want us to touch on other topics next time, comment, and we'll try to bring your questions in the next one. Thank you.
Thank you.